chit chat. Grab your popcorn, sit tight, we're ready to roll. In the heart of Sacktown, we're feeding your soul. In the Kings Court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the Kings shining star. With the NFL, Adams in the ring. Rhino's got the wisdom, hear the praises we sing. Court in session, it's a royal affair. With the fans all around, feel the passion in the air. In the King's Court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the King's shining star.
Great vibe today, champions.
Bring it today.
We're here. We're ready. We're locked in.
You ready? Locked in?
Bunch of dogs.
We got a bunch of dogs in the chat. What's up, everybody? A little bit of a melancholy Ryan in Sacktown coming to you here. Super excited. We got this one last week of the King's Court live 5 days a week. You're still going to get it, just not always in this version. Once we move over to Fox, you will be getting 1 day a week live at some point on a date to be figured out, but you'll get daily audio on the podcast side. So how was your weekend? Here's where I'm going to start. Did anybody have a better weekend than Jimmy Goldstein? Y'all know Jimmy Goldstein, right? He's the NBA super fan that is at every major game, especially when it comes to the playoffs. Guy has Clippers season tickets. Guy has Lakers season tickets. And he flies all over the nation. And it's like, dude, your fashion style is just you. That's what Jimmy Goldstein is. He rocks what the heck he wants to rock. He doesn't care what other people think. And he's kind of been turned into this super fan kind of guy. Like, Smiley, the WWE super fan, except Jimmy Goldstein is very rich. Turns out he knows a lot about basketball. Dude knows a lot. Tennis guy. He's been in the fashion game for a minute. I'm just asking, like, does he have the life or what? I mean, it's not that I am yearning for somebody else's life. I love the life that I have. But Jimmy Goldstein, you can't say some of you wouldn't take this life. Basketball, sunshine, Los Angeles, weekends like this. Look at Jimmy. Get it, Jimmy. The guy can still cut a couple moves on the dance floor. So wait, he still plays tennis. He still hangs out, goes to parties, flies all over the nation for basketball games. Tell me if you had a better weekend than Jimmy Goldstein. How does that not just bring a smile to your face? Love it, Jimmy. Good job, Jimmy. Grant said he's actually one of the better guys to talk to before the games. Like he really knows his stuff, and you'll see him if he's at a game, just based off of how he's dressed and where he's sitting. But all of the players seem to have a ton of respect for Jimmy Goldstein. So let me know, was your weekend better than Jimmy's? I'd be interested to hear if your weekend was better than Jimmy's. Preseason football that we will get to here in a little bit. But you know what Mondays is about? We do a couple things here on Mondays. The first that we do is we air grievances. So if you have a grievance, call the show, use the link. You can also put your grievance in the chat.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
Sorry. The other thing we do, we get our Motivational Monday from Scott Perry. I had to break format today. Who had a better weekend than Jimmy Goldstein? Tell me. Was your weekend better than that? Like, is that his house? Is he on a party bus? Is he in a club? Jeez. Tell you what, Jimmy has been listening to Scott's Motivational Mondays. He's taking these weekends serious. I can tell you one guy that might have had a better weekend than Jimmy Goldstein. What about Scotty Scheffler? Scotty Scheffler had a heck of a weekend.
Can you believe what you just saw?
He's had a heck of a year. We'll get there. But just like Mondays are for grievances, Mondays are also for motivation. Brought to us by the Sacramento Kings GM, Scott Perry. By the way, Scott, if this gets back to you, please know we are not making fun of these things. We dig them. Keep them coming. That's why you get your own background, you get your own music. Scott Perry writes, a little bit later today than normal, 7:53 a.m. Usually it's like 4:30 a.m. One constant is change. What worked for us yesterday may no longer work for us today. What we deem important today might be or may be meaningless tomorrow. Through this process, we are maturing into that which we might become. We learn to accept the challenges that life presents us with and adapt to the challenges around and within us, knowing that all these things work together for our good is a big step towards true understanding. I gotta say, that's a 7. I mean, I'm not ready to run through a wall, but I think it was pretty good. Good job, Scott Perry. Not only was Scott thinking about what he was going to pen out for his Motivational Mondays, he also hired a new Stockton Kings coach. Check that out. Per Michael Scotto, Stockton Kings are hiring. Check this out. Will Scott as their new head coach. That means in 2 of the last 3 seasons, this last season you won a championship under Quentin Crawford. The season before, you went to the Western Conference Finals under Lindsey Harding, who is now an assistant in LA. Quentin is in Portland. Thanks, Horse. Portland. Yeah. Will Scott. Here's what I like about Will. The Kings are promoting people internally. Look at what Michael Scotto said. He has been the associate head coach in Stockton, also head video coordinator and player development in Sacramento. That's a big thing. Coach Dip was also a video coordinator. One thing I can tell you, because I was so close to it, that playoff run in Stockton, that coaching staff was in sync. They all had roles. They all, it was perfect. Even some of the guys had roles on the staff, not the coaching staff. Like Mason Jones, he was heard on that staff during games. So Will Scott's going to take over as the head coach in Stockton. So you do get a little bit of basketball news there. Other than that, football this weekend, you've got Monday Night Football tonight, Bengals, Commanders. You know, Joe Burrow is saying this is the healthiest he's felt since his rookie season. Before training camp started, I kind of thought if it's going to be the year for the Bengals, this was going to be the year. Trey Hendrickson held in. I just like what's going on there. That's a sexy matchup for preseason. I know some people aren't preseason person, but Bengals, Commanders, all right, that's going to be a good matchup if you get that in the regular season too. So there you go. Not sure if you're going to be watching that. We can talk Niners. We can talk Raiders. We talked about Scotty Scheffler. Won the BMW Classic in just shocking fashion. Check this out. He's chipping.
Scheffler. Can you believe what you just saw? Bobby Mack can't.
Unreal. Scotty Scheffler is tiptoeing closer and closer to Eldrick. Tiptoeing. And I'm not saying he's going to have Eldrick's majors when it's all done, but this quiet persona that's actually kind of the opposite of Tiger Woods. Scotty, a few weeks ago, said after a win that, well, winning's not always everything, basically saying there's more to life than golf. And I realize that. But he's so damn good. And you know what poured gasoline on the fire that is Scotty Scheffler? It was that wrongful arrest. Dude stretching before a major in a jail cell and plays the same day. That took Scotty Scheffler to the mainstream. What he's doing right now on the golf course is just simply ridiculous. So congratulations to Scotty. If you want to talk about him, we can. I am not going to, I didn't have time to prepare for this. Some of you may have seen the video that was going around with Giannis where he slapped somebody on the Greek national team. I'm not prepared to talk about it yet, but if you've been with us this summer, I've told you that guy is not the guy you think he is. Just check the internet. You'll find the videos of him kicking ladders. Dude's got a little bit of a low-key dirtiness to him. What he's doing right now with the Bucks, am I going to stay? Am I going to go? A gooba gooba goo. It just does not work well for me. When a team rebuilds or retools their roster and you're signing off on decisions and now, well, we still know teams are waiting. If Giannis is going to make a decision, now you're overseas slapping people. What kind of teammate do you think he is behind closed doors? Come on, man. I need to take my time before I do my Giannis thoughts. So those will be coming tomorrow. In fact, I want to ask Jerry Reynolds about that tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last Jerry Reynolds Tuesday of the summer. It's going to be the last Jerry Reynolds Tuesday of the live shows. So come join us. This week's going to be a little bit about everything. Like, honestly, if you have a good memory of this show, I want to make this as much about all of you, even though we're not going away. This live show has been the coolest thing for me is not looking at the number of people that tune in, not looking at the thumbs up. It's seeing the interactions that all of you have with each other. Like, you've built relationships. This has become a community. So if you have a memory over the last year, it was February 2024 when we started the live show. If you have any memories over the past year, funny stuff, bad stuff, Rhino just being terrible at something, put it in there. And we will speak to Jerry tomorrow and have some fun. Tristan will make sure that we get you some FaceTime with Jerry as well, since we didn't get your question in last week. So I'm going to share one of my favorite memories, and it was a low point. This was right between when the Kings, they had just lost 5 in a row. Mike Brown had not been fired yet. And we had kind of said, low-key, if you want to call and leave a voicemail once in a while, you can do that. And the good ones, if they're appropriate, we'll put them on air. And our guy Charlie took us up on that. And Charlie left a historically depressing voicemail that did not age well because of something he was looking forward to that he mentions in the call that didn't turn out well. But the reason I remember it is he encapsulated like what this fan base was feeling at the time to a T. So Charlie, as we start off the King's Court salute over the next 4 or 5 days, you are going to be my first memory for this historic voicemail that you left.
Hey, my name's Charlie. I'm a huge Kings fan, and I just wanted to, I guess, discuss my frustrations about the past couple of days. Basically the season as a Kings fan, it's just been a disappointment, but mostly the past couple of days, and just my disappointment and just disgust in the owner of this franchise and the direction this franchise is heading. I frequently go to Kings games. I've been to a lot. I'm actually a college student, so my parents have been nice enough to kind of get me tickets to the game, so I've been able to go. And it's just been so unfortunate to see them. I mean, they lost 6 in a row now. And I'm just pretty disgusted with this team. I'm pretty close to, I mean, I love this team so much, so it's kind of basically, I feel like it's my last straw. And I'm obviously going to support this team, but it's just so hard right now. I'm glad I go to University of Oregon, so I'm glad I have the Ducks at least. They're in a college football playoff, but it's definitely unfortunate times as a Kings fan. So yeah, bye-bye.
I mean, could Charlie have said it any better for all of us? I don't think he could have. In that Oregon game, that didn't turn out the way that he wanted it to go either. So Charlie got a double dose of bad. So anyways, what's up? How's your weekend? Let's get you all in on the chat, see what we're talking about. I titled the show Over or Under because I want to know if you think the Kings are going to be over 35.5 wins this season. What do you think, and where are they going to come from? Yes, Romanowski, it was basketball H-double-E, hockey sticks for a little bit. Dennis, we know you're a believer. Patrick, a little off topic, but what happened to Masai Ujiri? He did the draft. I think what happened was him in Toronto, they had a mutual agreement, and don't take this as reporting or word, but they had a mutual agreement that he would take the team through the draft, but with where Toronto was at, they didn't want to pay him $14 million a year. And I get that. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. He brought a championship to Toronto, so he can have probably any GM job outside of a handful in the NBA that he wants, but you're going to have to pay the man. Are you ready to pay him upwards of $14 million a year as a GM? If it's the right situation, yeah, I did end many shows with that. I did. You were, yeah, okay, but Dennis, let's look at the context of me ending my shows that way. The context of that was you cannot have De'Aaron Fox and Zach LaVine on the floor together. That's not going to work. And if that was going to be the Kings upgrade, yes, stay away from it. Thanks, Romanowski. Really appreciate it. But you know what? All credit to Grant. We are so excited for him to be back. And things are going to change and shift a little bit here as well. What Romanowski is talking about is Grant is back in SAC. Better watch out for that. That's going to be a hashtag. I feel like that might become a hashtag at some point. But Grant is back. The Grant Napear Show returning to Fox Sports Sacramento. 104.7, 890 a.m. September 2nd, 3 o'clock. Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Radio is back in Sacktown. So make sure that you mark it down on your calendars. Grant will be here next week. And trust me, we have got a lot going behind the scenes getting ready for this because we're taking over this market. We're back here to win. Grant's here to win. And I'm here to support and help him win. So thank you for that. We're looking forward to it. Make sure you go follow KSAC if you have not on X, wherever that you are on social. You will find them. They're on Instagram. And then also download the KSAC app. You can go to the App Store on Apple. You can go to Google Play for Android. Totally free to download. Download the app. We're super excited to have Grant back here in Sacramento beginning September 2nd. Let's see. Wouldn't surprise me if we lost 42 plus games. Very possible. Dennis, you guys went on a long kick. Everything's yours, Dennis. Everything is yours, my man. My pick. My guy. If Westbrook ends up in Sacramento, I can promise you I'm not taking Dennis's call on the radio. If you call the show to talk about Westbrook, you're not coming on. It's not happening. And you've got to get through me to get to him. It's not going to happen, Dennis. That's part of my duties as producer. Need to make sure the show stays on the tracks.
Nobody's going to be a moron when they love this team.
I can't have this happen on Fox Sports.
Grant!
Dennis, stop
Grant!
for a minute.
We can't
I
have
didn't
that,
say anything
Dennis.
bad about you, Dennis.
I love you, Grant. Grant!
There's an important spot for people like Dennis's in this community, though.
Every team really
As
needs
Jerry
what I
Reynolds
call a
says.
shitbird.
Every team needs a shitbird. Every team needs one. He is our shitbird for sure. What's up, MC? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Tristan, hello, ladies. What are you talking about, Tristan? I have no idea what you could be referring to. Tristan, man, quit being one of those guys.
Every team really needs what I call a shitbird.
Richard, the big 6'1". Happy late birthday, dude. How about that? Good stuff. Good stuff. Richard out in Texas, I believe. I believe Richard is in Texas, where Texas people don't think it's humid. But any of us go to Texas, and it's like, dude, it's so humid. Scotty Scheffler, anybody? Dude was nails. That chip in is going to be compared to Tigers on, was it 17 at Augusta? The call was really good on that. And the guy almost kind of messed up the call, but it was good. I mean, when was the last time you heard a crowd roar like that? It was awesome. At least it gave us something to pay attention to besides preseason football. Girlfriend cooked dinner. Nice.
Can you believe what you just saw?
Thank you, MC. Reminds everybody. Hit that thumbs up button. And then I've got some more content too with the NFL. We'll get to that as well. Haha, the ladies' comment was referring to the video of the NBA superfan. Interesting. Do you think that's the song they were listening to? I could see that, Tristan. In fact, you know what? Let's see. Let's see if we can match it up, Tristan. Maybe you're right. They just had that on loop. I could totally, I mean, look at Jimmy. He's a stud. Let's see.
Hello, ladies.
You know what, Tristan? I think you hit gold there, dude. You hit gold. Yes, you are our habitual line stepper. It used to be PK. It used to be PK. So, all right, which way do you want to take the show today? I've got grievances. I can get to one of those. I've got thoughts on the New York Giants quarterback situation as well. It's really interesting how some of these quarterbacks are finding themselves basically full circle. I think there is certainly a connection when you look at Aaron Rodgers' career and Brett Favre's. And it's not because of how it started, but look at how they've played out. Exactly the same. And if you're a Green Bay fan, you can't really compare, or you can't complain about having three quarterbacks over a 28-year span. That's pretty damn cool. That's stability. But Aaron kind of left the same way Brett did. Now, Aaron, who was worst? Actually, I'm going to put that to the chat. Who was worst with the, okay, yeah, I might be retired. Yeah, I'm going to come back. Now I'm retired. No, I'm going to come back again. Oops, shouldn't have sent that picture to a female coworker. Who was worse when it came to those two? But their careers outside of that picture that I'm talking about are super parallel. Brett Favre had a couple of different stops after Green Bay. Aaron's now in Pittsburgh, and it's like, how is this going to work out? Like, I know Mike Tomlin has been very positive and complimentary of Aaron Rodgers, but when you look at what happens when Aaron Rodgers comes in to a team, he kind of takes over the team. The team forms around him. He's got to have his guys come in, etc. So I'm keeping my eyes on that situation. But It's also full circle for another quarterback that I followed very, very closely. That's Russell Wilson. Many of you might not, you might know Russ's story, but you might not know it the way that Seahawks fans know it. You know, the year that Russell was drafted, third round draft pick, so fairly high. You had some confidence the guy was going to be able to play. He had taken a year off to play baseball in between going from NC State to Wisconsin and the Seahawks. Take him with the third pick. But what a lot of people forget is Matt Flynn was brought into Seattle from Houston to be the starter. And they paid him really good money. Like the money where everybody said, you have to start him. Same thing that's being said in Sacramento right now about Dennis Schroeder. You got to start him because you're paying him 17.2, 17.4 a year, etc. But Russell Wilson in that quarterback battle, he just had something different. He had a moxie that he brought about him. He also had this very, very professional approach to things off the field. He seemed a little bit, I don't know, older, far beyond his years, and especially as a rookie. You know what ends up happening? He beats out Matt Flynn for the starting quarterback job. Now, let's talk about what he's dealing with right now. I think he's in the exact same situation, except he's Matt Flynn. And Jackson Dart is Russ. It's funny how these things come around. Again, full circle. For some of these quarterbacks, I've heard that Jackson Dart has brought a lot of just refreshing energy, not only to the locker room, but even to meeting with the press. Hey, guys, how's it going? He's happy to be there. He does not look rattled at all on the football field. In fact, there was one play against the Jets this weekend where he had wide open field ahead of him when he scrambled and he just got caught by his tiptoes. But his vision is what's catching me off guard. His numbers look really, really good. And I'm not saying Jackson Dart or Russell Wilson are turning around the Giants, but what I am telling you is somebody that watched the entire preseason play out with Russell Wilson and Matt Flynn. It is exactly what's going on in New York. Exactly what's going on there right now. I don't know that you're going to be able to keep this kid off the field. And I know Russ has looked really good in training camp. I understand that. But there's one thing that Russ doesn't have that he had before, and that's being elusive. He's not slippery anymore. Jackson Dart seems like he is. And seeing that your offensive line is not that good, New York Football Giants, it's something to consider. Now, how would Russell Wilson take that? I don't know. Can Russell, and this has been one of the things, I know many Giants fans are going to be pointing to this, but Malik Neighbors, he's the guy. He's good. He's special. He's not all that different from DK Metcalf. In fact, I think Neighbors is probably a little bit more special than him at the same point that they're at in their careers when DK was coming into his second year. But Russ never used DK that well. Russ can throw a really nice deep ball, but Russ is usually checking down. It's the slants, it's the outs, it's the curls, it's the wheel routes. So I wonder, and that's going to be kind of the X factor for me. And I know Grant has a whole different take on this. It's going to be the X factor for me on who can connect better with Malik Neighbors. Because that guy needs to have the ball in his hands. He is dynamic. I appreciate Russ bouncing back. Cody, if you're listening, you got the worst of Russell Wilson, the absolute worst in Denver. Broken Russell Wilson. Almost a Russell Wilson that I watched him almost quit on the football field. I remember putting the play up where he fumbled the ball and he just sat on his knees and watched it go by him. And it's like, all right, he's broke. Because Russ has gone through like this transformation It's kind of weird. When he came into the league, he was married. He was all about football, first at the facility, last to leave the facility, always in Coach Carroll's ear about what can I do to get better. He was super humble. And I'm not saying that Russ isn't humble anymore, but he's a much different Russ. And towards the end of the time in Seattle to Denver to I really haven't followed much now with him, but definitely the end of Seattle to Denver, he was way different since he married Ciara. He's much more public, really weird Instagram posts at times. So maybe he's kind of counterbalanced those two and been humbled by his time since Seattle. But Jackson Dart, he's just got, and I'm not telling you he's the next great quarterback, but I think he has what it takes. And Patrick, tell me if I'm wrong. You've been getting force-fed this for the last 3 weeks. I kind of think he has what it takes to deal with the New York media and give it back to them a little bit more than Russ does. And I really like what I see on the field. His ability to use his legs and be slippery and be accurate with the football. And he plays with a little bit of that toughness too. I like it. I like it. Russ probably will start, but I think you could probably count the number of games on one hand that it will be until Jackson Dart is the starting quarterback of that team. So tell me if you think I'm wrong. Let me know. Lots of other preseason football. Yes, Jake Moody hits a long field goal to win the game in Oakland. Another running back goes down for San Francisco. Man, you got to get Garendo back. Now you're looking at Garendo. Have to like some of the chemistry between Purdy and Pearsall. But, with Pearsall, can he stay healthy? That's the question. Can he stay healthy? Cam Ward looking good too. Yeah, Cam Ward is looking all right. Definitely. Director Spike Lee said the highly anticipated docuseries about former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick will be released, will not be released. I know there's a special on one of the streaming channels that's about black quarterbacks. That's already out. I didn't know that there was a separate Kaepernick thing coming. Kings have 3 of the top 50 players. That might be one of the biggest problems for the Kings because they don't have the complementary pieces to go around them. Like when you build a roster, you don't just pick the 14 best players in the NBA. Doesn't always work that way. Tristan, did Rhino hit the Marco Bellinelli retirement news yet? I did not. I did see that out of the back of my eye, or the side of my eye towards the start of the show. Russ used to be able to buy a lot of time with his legs. Yeah, I mean, Romanowski, for a minute, it's like we forgot that we forgot that spin move that a quarterback makes sometimes. Russ used to do it all the time, and every time he did it, he either had open field in front of him or he got murdered and somebody was right there waiting for him. What's up, Flores? What about Gronk? He was wishy-washy. Nowhere near Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. And by the way, Gronk is stepping on full-time for Jimmy Johnson on the Fox pregame show. No big surprise there. No one has success with the Jets. We'll see, man. We will see if they can turn it around. So, yeah. All right. A lot going on. I am the only show today. Grant is off today. So make sure that you mark your calendars for tomorrow. Grant will be returning to the channel. Probably 7 o'clock. We'll be here at 3 o'clock for Jerry Reynolds Tuesday. It'll be the last time Jerry joins us here on the Kings Court live show, at least for the foreseeable future, but you will be getting plenty of Jerry still on this channel. And I think that's something that some people are a little bit mistaken about. This channel is going nowhere. In fact, this channel is going to be elevated because of the move to Fox Sports. We're still going to be bringing you the post-game shows. And now in this case, I'm going to be at practices. I might be doing the post-game show from the G1C with Grant. We're going to have more access. So, and we might have somebody that joins us as a third for the post-game show. So we will be doing as many of those as we can, as long as there's not a conflict with the Kings playing on the East and us still on the radio. But we are here. We're still going to give you content all the time outside of 3 to 6 o'clock on Fox Sports Radio. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Grant is back in Sacktown beginning September 2nd. Make sure you download the Fox Sports Sacramento app, completely free. And trust me, I just finished, before we came on the air, I was talking to the social media coordinator at the station, and she has got some really cool stuff coming up. And her and I are going to be collaborating together on some other stuff. So make sure you get that app. Make sure you check the website. We are excited for Grant's return to Sacramento. He's back to win, y'all. He is coming to win. So where do you want to go? I do have some grievances. I'll keep them fairly brief. If you have a grievance, by the way, again, last week of the live show at 3 o'clock here. So it's going to be all hands on deck until September 2nd for Grant's re-debut here in the market starting next week. So if you want to get in and call with a memory, I shared mine about Charlie in his voicemail. Thought that was pretty darn good. It was sad, but it summarized how we felt at the time. Dennis shared the stay the HE double hockey sticks away from Levine. I ended the show many ways that way. Christopher, it's crazy to have Grant back. Hope it's all love for him. It's been all love since the announcement. Look, it's never going to be all love. We all know that with social media and people hiding behind keyboards. But it has been, I can tell you, Grant's told you how overwhelming it has been. He's going to roll his sleeves up to his freaking neck. He probably will. He'll probably be rolling them up. Shoot, I don't even know if he's going to be wearing a shirt. He's going to be that pumped up. Off the bed or off the beach. What's up, John? You're on the beach. Ash, what's up? But another host suggested Russ should start because he needs to work with the wide receivers. Yeah, I don't know about Russ's durability. I don't. He's not going to have the protection. Not that Pittsburgh had great protection. It's not going to be there. Like if you would have put Matt Flynn behind the offensive line, and Seattle never really did invest well into their offensive line with Russ there, but he could escape. He had that escapability. He was slippery. He could use his legs and still make a play downfield. And also, don't take this for granted. The guy knows how to slide. He's a baseball player too. So he would always know the right time usually to get down. I don't know how many more hits he has in him. I just don't. He's not going to be able to get away the way he did. And that's where you get into it. Let me tell you, Giants fan, it is a love-hate relationship on Sundays with Russell Wilson sometimes. Because for as many of those plays that he will make where he gets away from 2 or 3 guys, gets the ball downfield, he's also going to get you into 2nd and 23 a handful of times. So it goes both ways. And that was Russ early on. He's not the same Russ now. And I love Russ. I actually really like him. And I think it was an interesting debate brought up on this show, or on Grant's show, excuse me, about whether or not he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, to be honest with you. Oh, Romanowski. I don't know how to say the names, but yeah, it was boring. I know. How about the 2 spinning back elbows to win the fights? The one in Joe Rogan and the entire table said it. What was the guy's name? It was something Evans, I think. He got hit with the spinning elbow, and it sounded like the crack. When they replayed it, it literally sounded like a ball coming off of a wooden bat. Like, I was worried about that guy. In fact, on Sunday morning when I woke up, I was tweeting, or I wasn't tweeting, I was researching. I'm like, is he good? Is he in the hospital? Is that the time somebody's going to die in the octagon? And then there had only been 10 in UFC history, and you got 2 of them in the same night. The spinning back elbow. That was crazy. That was pretty crazy. The first fight, the debut, that new fighter from Japan, I wasn't impressed. What's everybody think about UFC going to Paramount Plus? You get all the pay-per-views. Dude, the first one was so vicious. It was a disgusting sound. Like, it was almost a sound that I could not get out of my head. Gravy. Mark is glossing himself gravy. That doesn't sound good at all. Back me up there, Romanowski. When the elbow hit the skull, and it hit the skull right in that spot, it was like right here, like right there. It sounded like somebody hitting a home run, and that was bone on bone. Like, I thought he was going to have a fractured skull. I really did. I'm getting like the chills talking about it right now. But UFC headed to Paramount Plus, WWE headed to ESPN for their PLEs. They're going to increase the monthly price on the PLEs. So, all right, might as well get to a grievance. I'll keep them brief. I'll keep this one brief.
The
But
airing of
it's Monday,
grievances.
so we do
I got a
grievances.
lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
This one's really simple. Glitter. Do I need to say anything more? Glitter. Glitter is more contagious than norovirus. You can't get it out. If glitter gets into your car, if glitter gets anywhere, you don't want it, you're done. It's just there. There's nothing you can do to get it away from you. And when you think you've got it away from you, no, somebody's like, oh, you have glitter on your back. And it doesn't have to be a lot of glitter. It could be from a gift card. It can be from a birthday card. Like, you almost need to put glitter. If something has glitter, you need to put it in another bag when you transport it so it doesn't get all over your car. Glitter, it's the worst. Looks like Ryan went to a strip club over the weekend. Glitter definitely did not go to a strip club over the weekend, Horse. Definitely was working, Horse. Did not go to a strip club. So he went to Portland. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just telling you, the glitter is a bad look, man. We are going to outlaw it for my son's birthday coming up. All right, I'll give you one more quick one, and then we'll get to the
airing
longer
of
one
grievances. I got a lot
later
of
in the
problems
show.
with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
All right, so Arkansas's head coach. Not sure if you heard about this or caught this over the weekend. Sam Pittman, by the way, I've been watching the SEC special on Netflix, or the series, and basically it's Sam Pittman. Which week are you going to get fired? Which week is it going to be? They come really close to beating. It was either Alabama or LSU. And so somehow he ends up still with his job, right? Dude is 16-22 in the SEC. 16-22. 34-25 overall at Arkansas. So he was doing a press conference. And look, when you're getting into the game, if you're trying to become a reporter, if you're trying to become a writer, if you're doing those things, we talk about Nico all the time on this channel, who goes to Syracuse, who is doing amazing work already, and getting a lot of reps in. But you get your reps like in college. Like if you're a student reporter and you get your credential, that's where you get your reps. You got to remember, even though it's the SEC, it's still college, my man. Some people are not being paid to go to school there. And so a student reporter, well, I get he could have asked the question a little bit better. He just gave it right back to the student reporter like he's coming off of a national championship. But the student reporter actually said what everybody was thinking in the room. So here it is.
And then a lot of talk about, year 2 under Bobby. I guess maybe year 6 under you doesn't sound quite as exciting to the eye. But I guess have you learned anything that? I guess sorry.
Was there a question in there?
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing?
Sorry. I guess. Is there anything new that you've learned about yourself that you're looking to take into this year? I guess I should just lead with that.
Okay, so there is an art to it. There's definitely an art to it. He got caught up. If anybody out there is Jim Rome clones, sometimes it's not going the right way and you need to hit the ejection seat. The kid did not exactly hit the ejection seat well. Now, he eventually got out of it, but come on, Sam. Like, seriously, a student reporter, when you have arguably the student reporter did as good of a job with his question as you have done coaching that football team. But you're going to treat him like that? Like you're just coming off of 2 SEC championships? At least the kid had the balls to say what everybody else in the room wouldn't say.
And then a lot of talk about, year 2 under Bobby. I guess maybe year 6 under you doesn't sound quite as exciting to the eye. But I guess have you learned anything that? I guess sorry.
Was there a question in there?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Just let him get to it. Let him get to it. Right. This dude is so lucky to still be in this job. He gets right in the middle. Like, credit to this kid, though. You know what? You don't hear enough of that. We talk about it here in Sacramento all the time. It's the cookie cutter questions. It's the questions through the purple lenses. You don't want to step on anybody's toes. It was Scott Perry's introductory press conference. Believe it was Scott Perry's. It was either Scott Perry's or it was Scott and Doug's. I'm 99% sure it was Scott's. But somebody in the room who was a credentialed and very respected member of the media here in Sacramento, I'm not going to disclose who it was, asked a question that was what everybody was thinking. That person immediately got the look from the director of communications, and the press conference was wrapped up after that question. So there's a fine line, but I mean, I can't be mad at this kid for what he has.
I guess, is there anything new that you've learned about yourself that you're looking to take into this year? I guess I should just lead with that.
And he goes on to just kind of burn him. So Sam Pittman, got a grievance with that dude. Even if you are like Lou Holtz coming off of national championships.
I got a lot of problems with you
can't do
people.
that, man.
Now you're going to hear about it.
Can't do that. No, it was not. No, it was not. So, all right. I have one more grievance, but we'll wait for that here in a little bit. Let's talk Kings. If you want to call now. Get in on the show. Would love to hear from you. All you got to do is hit the link that I just put back in the chat, or you can scan the QR code that is on the screen. What's it going to be for this team this year? What do you think? Are we going to be pleasantly surprised because they've finally thrown a point guard into the mix? Is that going to be good for 2 or 3 games, 4 games? Is Neek going to be that guy? I kind of think Neek is. If you haven't been with us before or in the last couple weeks, when Jerry and I were on 2 weeks ago, I said my bold prediction is Neek will be first or second team, all rookie. Understand the distinction here. I'm not calling him the next Tyrese Halliburton or comparing his game to Hallie's, but what I am comparing it to is when Hallie came in, you just knew you needed to make minutes for him. You knew the position was backlogged, but Hallie needed to play 20 to 25 minutes a night. I think Neek is going to work himself into that same type of role on this team. I really do. But what it comes down to at the end of the day with this team is, can they get through November 500? That is absolutely the biggest thing. Can you get through November at 500? The schedule is brutal, which we've gone over numerous times, but your first, I think it was 12 of your first 15 are against playoff teams from last year. You've got 3 with Oklahoma City in the first month of the season. I think you have 3 winnable games to start the season, especially with the Lakers at home. By the way, side note, not sure if any of you have caught some of the East Coast journalists that are complaining about NBC games starting at 11 o'clock Eastern in some cases. So unfair. Only 17% of the population that watches the games out west. All right, why don't you move your East Coast games up then? How about those don't start at 8 o'clock local time for you? How about they start at 5 o'clock local time for you, just like they start for us? If we're watching an East Coast game, so ridiculous. Like, you're going to complain about 30 minutes? What's the difference between 7:30 and 8 o'clock if you're already staying up to 11? Come on. Anyways, the Kings have to win their first 3. If you can get to Thanksgiving, if you can get to Phoenix on 11/26 and be at 500, this team's overachieving, in my opinion. You don't know if you're going to maybe get some luck with injuries, or conversely, they might strike you. But I have a hard time subscribing to the quote, Kings have a bad schedule. The Kings got screwed with this schedule take, because the West is so brutal. The Kings are getting 9 national TV games, 8 of which are against the West, because that's how good the West is. They're putting the Kings on because of the other team in the West that's playing. That's how good they're expecting it to be. So I've got a problem with that. The other problem that I have that I don't think a lot of people are pointing out, and why I say if the Kings can get to November and be around 500, look at the homestand that's in March. And I know there's a lot of basketball in between that, but then you get the All-Star break, etc. The Kings did not have a stretch of basketball like this last season on the calendar. They didn't. Their home stretch, their longest home stretch, was Murderer's Row. You had a back-to-back that was Boston and Oklahoma City. These are all winnable games. San Antonio should be tough. You don't know if Wemby and Fox are going to be healthy. Wemby coming back from the really scary situation with the blood clot. If you can get to this stretch, you've got a very manageable end to this season. Phoenix, New Orleans, Chicago, Indiana, Charlotte, at Clippers. Then you come home for 4 more games. And then Charlotte, Orlando. Orlando, I think, is going to it's not a surprise anymore. But for me, Orlando is on the same track as the Thunder were a couple of years ago. They've put themselves in that position. That's why they went all in to get Desmond Bane. They didn't care what the cost was going to be. They knew that was the right guy. It was their time to go get their Aaron Gordon. I think Orlando, if they can stay healthy, are going to be freaking incredible this season. So that'll be a tough game for sure. But then Toronto, New Orleans, Clippers, 2 with Golden State, and at Portland. It's manageable. It's super manageable. You don't know what's going to be going on with Golden State at that time of the year. But yeah. So what are you guys thinking? Over or under 30 games? Over or under? East Coast game times for national football games at night are brutal. 6 o'clock, right, Patrick? So 9 o'clock your time. It's going to be 11 o'clock for NBC games here on the West Coast. Dorian. Yeah, there you go. Super brutal. Random thought here, by the way. How about the Brewers? 15 straight now after today. They're balling. Dennis trying to out-host the host. Like, Dennis, I'm curious. What's your... I know you're not writing that. You're using... Because you either do one of two things. The first is talk to text, and I can't understand anything, and I have to piece it together. Like I was reading my third grader's essay a couple of years ago. Or it's like stuff like this that's like highlighted and copied and then pasted. Who cares? I appreciate it, but who cares about Cam Newton? For early risers like Ryan, 8 p.m. start times are not cool. Yeah, the season is season's a grind, yo. It's going to be even a bigger grind this year, and I can't wait for it. But now that everything is going to be audio for the Kings Court, you 3:30 at the latest in the mornings, then it's go time. During season, I actually got Haunted Horse on it, and now he's kind of doing the same schedule. But 3:30. Dorian does the early mornings too. West Coast is lucky to have start times at 10 a.m. on the Sunday. Yes, I get that because we have football. We have NFL football from the time that we wake up to the time that you go to bed, for the most part. I get that, but I've also been on the East Coast for an NFL Sunday. Having it start at 1 o'clock isn't all that bad either, because you get the gap from like NFL will be done usually by 8:45, 9 o'clock. Here on the West, you get the straight through from 1 o'clock all the way until you go to bed on the East. I mean, if you go to bed early, then yeah, that's what I think makes it so challenging for some of the East Coast season ticket holders. I know Grant's talked about that a lot. Late nights. I don't know. It's just kind of ingrained in people in the East. Noon start times for the first games are brutal. Never watch Sunday football you never watch Sunday night football? Come on, bro. Adam, who's your football team in the NFL? I don't even know that. Hopefully the Kings give Isaac Jones some playing time this season. Romanowski, Jerry is super, super high on Isaac. Very, very high on Isaac Jones. And I think there's reason to be high on him just because of his build, his athleticism. The thing I was the most impressed with this summer from him was the fact that the Kings had asked him to really work a three-point shot into his game so he could play the 4. And he tried to do that in games, and he missed horribly at times. But in that championship game, he took one with like 25 seconds left, 20, nailed it, kept the Kings in the game. The fact that he wasn't scared to take that shot, I like that a lot. I think I know he is very coachable. It's for him, it's going to be not taking the pump fake. It's staying out of foul trouble. Jerry thinks, what was it? Almost 2 months ago, I asked Jerry before we saw Isaac Summer. I said, do the Kings have to get 7 to 10 minutes from Isaac a night to be competitive? And he's like, yeah, I think they do. And now there's no doubt that the Kings have to do that. Look at the back end. It's not going to be Eubanks. I mean, if you think about what the Kings' greatest strength is going to be this season, I think it's going to be running and pace. I'm not sure how many of you saw Domas last week. He looks like he's leaned out, and Jerry agreed with me about Domas looking like he's leaned out. Here's what Domas had to say about Scott Perry and what they have done so far over the summer.
They listen to us, they want to hear what we think. I think Scott's done a great job so far, and he's trying to turn things around just like everyone else. No, I think we think alike, and we both want to get this thing running in the right direction, and his values are aligned with mine. Scott's coming in here and trying to change things around, in the right direction. I feel like what the fans want, what the fans believe in, and to come out, play hard, run, be a gritty team, and so far we're making the right moves. Everyone's working hard in summer, and it's gonna all come down to training camp and get together and make it work.
And then also on the team and Doug.
Very happy for him. He was in there with me those 3 summers every day in the gym, so I've seen how hard he works every day, and for him to have this opportunity, the fans love him. He's one of us here, so I think it's gonna be very exciting. Doug's working hard on the new system, how he wants to play us, and he's going to translate it through the training camp. And so far all summer we've been getting little bits and pieces of that new offense. So hopefully when training camp comes, it's just smooth and we're ready to go.
So sad this week is the last week, but I am excited and pumped for what's coming September 2nd. 100%, Tay. 100%. And we are exploring the ways that we might, because we are not doing a simulcast right off the bat. We are doing old school radio, the way that Grant likes to do it. But we're exploring avenues that incorporate chat, because I know chat is really important to a lot of you. So I know how much it's important to this show, but appreciate that, man. We'll be talking about some of the good times, some of the bad times, some of the funny times as we approach Friday. We got Jerry tomorrow as well, but you're going to be getting better, at least here with the podcast. You are going to be getting much better coverage. And I say much better because now you're going to be getting things on the record. Many times, a lot of my conversations were off the record. So when you download the Kings Court podcast, the shoot around in the mornings, Apple, Spotify, it will be me from practice. You'll have audio directly from the players on stuff that you guys are curious about, stuff that we're curious about. And you'll have the same audio also on Fox as well, on Grant's show. So there's going to be some major upgrades as well. We're coming. We are coming until September 2nd. Be sure to check out the shameless plug, Adam. Shameless plug. Yeah, go check out the Waterhole with Haunted Horse. Just do yourself a favor and don't check out the show with you and your significant other.
Who's next to you? There's a woman next to you.
That's my daughter.
Yeah, that's what you will be in for on that show. Super Bowl ending at 7:30, better than 10:30. What time would you want? So ideally, okay, let's have the conversation. What's the middle ground for start times for both the West and the East? Like, we don't need NFL football kicking. I could deal with a 9 a.m. kickoff as a viewer. And remind you, we're being selfish. We're taking the viewer standpoint. We're not caring about what time the players want to start and what time the league wants to start. We're only caring about ourselves here. I could deal with 9 a.m., move the pregame up to 8 a.m. But I think asking the West Coast to do the whole Wembley overseas games kind of thing where you got to wake up at 6, I don't know. I think that's a little bit too much. And it bugs me that these East Coast super respected radio hosts and analysts are crying like little babies over 30 minutes. I heard one of them today that's like, well, here's the thing. I like to watch the games live. Because when I watch the games live, then I can draw the live emotion from the game. I can get that moment, what it was really like. And now I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to have to watch it the next morning. How could you not draw the same energy if you're watching the same game the next morning? It doesn't make any sense. Calling us 17%ers here on the West Coast? Come on, man. Now, I'm not a fan of the Lakers getting the late start. Clippers get it too because of the traffic in LA. Deal with it. Guru, are you out there, by the way? I sent out a text over the weekend and I tagged the Guru in it. Pulling up to the freeway, no traffic whatsoever. Get on the on-ramp and the meter lights on a Saturday at 3:30 in the afternoon? What the heck's up with that, Guru? What's up with that, dude? Had to wait there for a good 30 or 45 seconds? Yeah, I agree with you, Romanowski. It is. Dennis. Dennis.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
What was that, Peter? What did you have to say to Dennis?
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Free agent forward, Jalen McDaniels, who was here in Sacramento. And mind you, an SDSU guy. You're making me go in on an SDSU guy, Dennis. Why do we care? Raise your hand. Put a 1 in the chat if you care that Jalen McDaniels has agreed to probably a non-guaranteed training camp deal with the Pelicans. Dennis, come on, man. You're like trying so hard to be the Woj around here. What a beast. He's a beast. Yeah. He was with the Kings for how long, Dennis? 3 practices? I love Jalen. I don't want to go after one of my own. I know, for sure. I would rather talk about Jalen eating McDonald's. I'd rather talk about John Finch's love for asparagus. Jalen McDaniels? Oh, gosh. Dennis, man. Dennis. Sometimes I don't get you, my man. I just don't
That don't
get
make
you.
no sense.
Yeah, exactly, Romanowski. Who? Come on, man. Yeah, he's just holding up the finger. Yeah. I mean, Dennis. Dennis, you are walking a fine line of like spamming the chat in a bot, putting stuff like that in there. Romanowski is just spot on. Who? He was a freaking king last year, too. Who? Oh, yeah, get him in here. What else is going on? According to ESPN, the Kings have held workouts with Brock Lesnar. All right, there you go. Brock Lesnar has gotten a workout with the Kings. Dennis, man. You
disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
Just cool it, Zippy.
You sit on a throne of lies.
No. No. I am not letting you try to play that card. You did not put that in the chat for a laugh. You absolutely did not. See, that's what makes that guy that much worse. He was putting that in for run, man. Oh, no, I knew you were going to take it that way. I was going to hook Rhino. I knew it. No, 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 no. Like, Dennis, what are you doing? Are you just like tracking NBA Central? Or are you like on ESPN.com, NBA track or transactions, hoops hype, refreshing every 30 seconds? Oh my gosh. Come on, man. Come on. I appreciate the effort, but come on. You are so lucky that you are not a grievance. You remember I had to go to Kevin John because of you? I had to ask Kevin John for an independent verification of your night in Stockton with me. You remember I had to go to Kevin when I told that story and Kevin confirmed it? Come on, man. Don't make me don't put me there, Dennis. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, I got another grievance. Somebody that y'all recognize. I think that he has been way, way out of pocket. Took something a little too seriously, in my opinion. So here is my last.
I got a lot of
grievance.
problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
No, you are not NBA Central. You are NBA Centel. Have you seen that account? You are closer to Centel than Central. No, it did not. No, it did not. We ended up talking about it here. I mean, when you forget the section, when you're sitting literally on the Kings bench, and you forget your section, you're arguing with an usher. I mean, Dennis, that's right, Tristan. No, like, don't make me recap that, man. So, you see, like these, and that's what I go back to. That's what makes me laugh. The Jalen McDaniels thing. Like, Kevin and I stopped to catch up, and Dennis came in like a wrecking ball. And he was just throwing take after take after take after take after take, mixing in multiple sports. Like Jalen McDaniels. What do you think about that? And Kevin, who was already an energetic guy, Kevin's head's like going, like, can't keep up. Like, what were the bots in Austin Powers where they just start shorting out? Dennis, every team needs one, man.
Every team
needs one.
What I call a shitbird.
We appreciate it, but I got to check you as well. Dennis Cyrus. No, I don't. Okay, now the image of Dennis on a wrecking ball is quite disturbing.
The airing of grievances.
There's my grievance.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
So, as some of you may or may not know, Dylan Gabriel, the Fembots, there you go. Thank you. Quarterback of the Browns. It is Dylan, right? I want to make sure I get that right. Dylan Gabriel? That should be right. First year in the NFL, drafted a couple of rounds before Shadir Sanders, who I talked about last week. Shadir Sanders, really quick. Nobody, and I don't think anybody in the NFL questioned his talent. I think everybody in the NFL questioned, is he coachable? Is he a distraction? That's why he fell. Is he all about the pigskin? Because you can't question, Joe Flacco has been named the starting quarterback there. You can't question the kid's skill. He played really well in the first preseason game. Go back and watch what he did at Colorado. He had a high school offensive line at Colorado, and he was still able to make a decent amount of plays, but it was off the field, the way he handled himself. It was AirPods in his ears with meetings with NFL teams. So for Shadir to come out and have the game he had, didn't surprise me, but apparently it surprised everybody else. And it was the biggest thing. And after the game, this is what Shadir said. Check this out.
I guess this is my practice, and I feel like practice went good today. We won.
Yeah, absolutely. Last one for me, I saw you giving some love to Jimmy over there. You got a lot of love on the internet. Your dad been live tweeting. LeBron tweeted you out. What do you think about when you think about the love, whether it's in person or people at home supporting you?
Well, it's different. You gotta understand what I'm playing for. I'm playing for a lot of people and a lot of beliefs. Overall, I'm playing for those who don't have a voice. So who I'm playing for is people locked up. They text me, sending me like, bro, we rooting for you. Like the external motivation, I have is crazy. And I channel that, to make sure it's always gonna be motivation. So regardless of how I'm feeling, regardless of anything, I know it's a lot of people count on me to succeed. So I just gotta make sure, I stay positive and stay everything throughout whatever's going on, because it truly don't matter, because you got a lot of people that believe in you. There's a lot of 12 jerseys out here still, and it's amazing. Like, I was just in college, and, last time I was in the NFL stadium, I probably seen Dad play when I was like 2. And he was for the Ravens. So, like, for me overall, I'm just thankful for it. And sometimes, I don't understand the magnitude of things because I'm such in a bubble. So I'm just thankful that, it's a lot of people.
So what the Browns are listening for is quarterback talk. I want to, none of it happens without the offensive line, the play calling, some great catches, great reads by the receivers. But no, it's like me, the 12 jerseys that are in the stands. It's like all those little things, and nobody said anything about it. Yeah, it's kind of a running joke. I try to say it a different way every time. I know it's Shadur. Anyways, we're getting back to my thought. He came and did all those things at the post-game press conference, which was good, but nobody called him out media-wise. It wasn't that big of a deal. Is Grant even on this show anymore? He's never been on the King's Court, Blake. It's always been mine, my man. So, anyways, Dillon Gabriel was asked, and I thought it was fairly benign what he said during the game, but check out what he said.
It's just part of it. There's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. And my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on doing. Of course, we're doing this mid-game, but it's something that I'll get used to, and just want to be the best team that I can and create an environment where we can all go do our best work. That's all we want to do.
So Dillon then, in the post-game press conference, clarified what he meant by that. But no, leave it to Stephen A. Smith, who's got to weigh in on everything and threaten people. You didn't get on Shadur, but you're going to hammer Dillon Gabriel for what he said, and you're going to hammer him to this degree on national television? Come on. Check this out. This was Stephen A. Smith.
I never believed he was talking about Shadur Sanders. I totally believed him when he said he was talking about the media. I want to get that out the way first. I don't think he was talking about Shadur Sanders as well. I think when you heard the comparisons were emanating from the media more so than anybody else. And that's what I think. That's exactly who I think he was directing his comments.
Okay. So he wasn't directing them at Shadur. Okay. Wasn't. But let's establish that. I'm writing it down. Go ahead, Stephen A.
Boards. Having said that, Dillon Gabriel, respectfully, it was stupid. A very dumb comment to make. First of all, let me tell you something right now. In every walk of life, far beyond the parameters of a football field, people are competing. We compete here on television. You compete with radio shows. You compete on Wall Street. You compete on Madison Avenue. Everything, especially in America, as it pertains to a capitalistic society, involves competition. To the victor goes the spoils. There are people that are, Jimmy Johnson said it best. He said, I will be very, very consistent in treating you as inconsistently as possible. Those who produce get treated differently than those who don't.
Or baseball. Remember that one not too long ago?
Said echoes the mentality of all of America practically, and most certainly the world, as we see things being globalized more and more every day. It was a stupid, idiotic, immature comment because clearly you were feeling the heat because a lot of people was talking about how Shedeur should be QB number 2. But I know he was not talking about Shedeur Sanders. He was talking about the media. Here's the problem. You've now heightened the level of scrutiny coming your way because the media, including myself, heard what you said. So in other words, it's entertainment. It's not competition, really.
Even myself, I heard what you said.
So when you go out there and you compete like trash, because you will have days when you look like that, we're going to remember those comments. And we're going to remember the shot that you took at the Fourth Estate, which is the media institution. Whether we like to or not, some of us will be kind, like myself, because we don't want to do that to you. Others will.
Some of us will be kind because we don't want to do that to you. What are you doing right now? You literally. That was I didn't stomp my feet on his couch. Yeah, I remember stomping my feet on his couch. It was one of those moments. Like, come on, man.
And you compete like trash because you will have days when you look like that. We're going to remember those comments. And we're going to remember the shot that you took at the Fourth Estate, which is the media institution. Whether we like to or not, some of us will be kind, like myself, because we don't want to do that to you. Others will be merciless. But in the end, no one will be wrong because who instigated that fury against you? It would be you. Very, very idiotic and stupid for you to say what you said.
No, my man, Stephen A. Smith. Very, very stupid of you during a lean time in sports where networks like the one you work for and many others, like you said, on radio, in media, are scratching for content. When we scratch for content, we're not throwing people under the bus. We're not spreading hate. We're not making threats. We're not in one breath saying, no, I ain't going to do that. Yeah, I just did that. Did anybody think, honestly, did anybody, when Dylan Gabriel said that, think anything of it? I didn't think a damn thing of it when I heard it. But you've got to make it, you're spreading hate. This capitalistic, basically dog eat dog world. This guy, and I don't usually have a massive problem with Stephen A. Smith. I respect the grind. He's always doing a show. He's on TV somewhere. But I don't respect the content at times. And that's garbage. You got to play it both ways, man. You've got to play it both ways. That's all you're doing. And that is exactly amplifying. It's a great example of concerns that pop into football executives' heads when they know players are in bed with certain members of the media. You're either team this or you're team that. Because you know the added attention that's coming your way. Look at Dion in Colorado ripping credentials from members of the media for asking very normal questions. Ripping people on the spot for asking about the weather. And ultimately being wrong about it, saying, oh, we're not worried about rain. And then it rains and you lose that day. This is the dog and pony show. Dylan Gabriel, the only lesson that he needs to learn from this is not to watch his mouth, but just realize he's walking on eggshells that shouldn't be under his feet. It sucks. It was so benign, especially coming off Shedeur acting like he had just the only thing missing from the first preseason field interview and him going off the field was him putting a 1-up over his head as he runs down the tunnel. That's all that was missing from that. And I'm rooting for that kid. I wish it can just make sense for the kid to buy in to what every other professional athlete, especially at that quarterback, knows. There are times to be candid and there are times to be quote unquote professional, whether we agree with it in the media or not. You know what you're going to get during the season when you ask a quarterback the question. You're going to get quarterback talk. It's playing the game. He's got to play the game. It's not going to work the other way. It's the only way he's going to get on the field. That or if the Browns run out of quarterbacks, and it's a damn shame because I think he's the most talented guy in the business or in the building. Stupid. Christopher. So that's my grievance with Stephen A. Like, I just hate that. And I don't hate a lot of things. I just don't like that. Crazy. Most holier than thou condescending take I've ever heard, maybe ever. Completely unnecessary. Are you talking about me or Stephen A? Sassy's role is to sow division. What? Talking out of both sides of his mouth. Yeah, exactly. He's just threatening. The last 30 seconds was all you needed of that. You know, we're going to remember when you have a garbage game.
Certainly the world, as we said about how Shedeur should be QB number 2. But I know he was not talking about Shedeur Sanders. He was talking about the media. Here's the problem. You've now heightened the level of scrutiny coming your way because the media, including myself, heard what you said. So in other words, it's entertainment. It's not competition, really. So when you go out there and you compete like trash, because you will have days when you look like that, we're going to remember those comments. And we're going to remember the shot that you took at the Fourth Estate, which is the media institution. Whether we like to or not, some of us will be kind, like myself, because we don't want to do that to you. Others will be merciless. But in the end, no one will be wrong because who instigated that fury against you? It would be you. Very, very idiotic and stupid for you to say what you said.
So bad. So bad, Stephen A, man. So bad. And sometimes you can be so good at certain things. Just so bad. It's time to play the game. I don't think I have that one, bud. My bad. I think I need to step up my sound drops. Yeah, I got Little John.
What?
So, yeah. Plenty of Haunted Horse, too, for sure. So, yeah. Interesting to see what will happen. And how about Deshaun Watson? How does he fit into this entire thing? You know, this is just kind of karma to me for the Browns. Feel bad for that fan base. You can't take in a Deshaun Watson. One, take him in, but then 2, shelter his money. That was nuts. So, again, I wish nothing. It's clear. If you watch Dylan Gabriel, yes, he looked good this weekend. Sanders is way more talented than Dylan Gabriel. It is so clear. If you put football scouts that had never seen or heard of either player in a room and you played both of their tapes and gave them no other context, I would bet you 9 out of 10 would take Sanders. So, and Sanders said it too. He said, I'm in a bubble. It makes you wonder, how much Dion, for as great as he was on the field, he has been probably about as weird as they get off the field. And I know he's dealt with his fair share of some scary stuff Some really scary stuff. Most recently, bladder cancer. But if you heard the story that he told and was reported, and I believe his son confirmed, he didn't tell any of his kids about his diagnosis. He just kept it to himself, and he locked himself in a bedroom. Like, that's got to be weird too. If you're the son, like, so I don't know. I just think it's just a weird environment, and he's not quite good enough. He's not LeBron. He's not Tom Brady. He's not like a guaranteed guy coming out of the draft that, yeah, we'll deal with any of the BS that comes along with it. He's not that good, but he's good enough to start for the Browns. No doubt about it. So, all right. We are going to get ready to wrap up. Anything else? Anything else before we get out? Get your last minute comments in. If you want to call, you can do that as well. I forgot to ask you the most important question of the day. Did anybody make it to see Connor for a mortgage? I'll get to Connor in a second. But Bennett's, did you get to brunch this weekend at one of the 3 locations? How? Fair Oaks, Roseville, Rockland? No problem. Get there today. Happy hour, 2 to 6 o'clock. Monday, wine and dine as well. You can get 2 entrees and a bottle of wine for $69. Bennett's, you will find Grant and I there almost every single day next week at one of the locations. We will be there. So make sure you come say hi if you happen to be there at the same time. But go to bennettsrestaurants.com. Check out their full menu, which is incredible. Awesome prime cuts of seafood and steak. Looking for something on the lighter side, they've got some incredible salads as well. Definitely shareable plates. Their sips and tastes, 60 different wines by the glass. They've got a little bit of everything for everyone. And it's great, fresh, elevated food at a very affordable price. Many of you know that because you've been out there. So go check them out again. bennettsrestaurants.com. You can make reservations right there. Try the new Taste of Summer menu that Brian rolled out and commonly rolls out menus based upon the best ingredients he sees at the time. Did that with the Taste of Summer. 2 courses, $30. You can get a third course dessert for an extra $5. Do it. Throw it on. But check them out again, bennettsrestaurants.com. Let us know when you go in, and make sure you let them know that you heard about them here on If You Don't Like That. Don't want to end with Stephen A. Smith on the screen. Monday Night Football tonight. I'll be watching this one. I'm looking forward to this one. Bengals and Commanders. Joe Burrow, I think I think this is going to be their year. I think they're going to have a very, very good year. But he's playing well. Oh, Romanowski, my bad, has a grievance. Can't end the show without that grievance. Here we go. Got to get your imaging, Romanowski. Romanowski's grievance.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
Monday Night Raw at G1C, cheapest ticket prices, $80 or $90. 100% Romanowski. This guy right here, Adam, or where's Adam at? If Adam's still around, he will definitely be putting his stamp of approval on that. And you know what happens? They end up dropping closer to the show because they don't sell. It's insane. Did you see, Romanowski, did you see how much they moved up the stage at SummerSlam? That stadium was like, I think they announced the attendance like right around 52 or 53,000. They moved the stage up almost, I want to say, half the distance. It was half the distance that it usually is. It's usually pushed way back. So, yeah, that's crazy. They won't sell out at $90. It's just too much. It's too much. Silly. Damn, final wrestling segment on Friday. That'll be interesting. But tomorrow, Jerry Reynolds It is our last Jerry Reynolds Tuesday. We'll have him live here on the channel. Grant will be back tomorrow as well, tomorrow evening. So make sure that you mark the calendar. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love to have you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, game day coverage going nowhere here once Grant returns to the radio on September 2nd. Fox Sports Radio, KSAC 104.7, 890 AM. Download the app as well. Make it easy on yourself, Apple Store and also Google Play Store. But yeah, Grant is back September 2nd. Back to win. I love that. Love it. So we will be officially wrapping up the live version of this show on Friday, at least as a daily live show. It will be podcast only with one live show a week going forward once we start the radio program. So, all right, we got Jerry tomorrow. I know he's looking forward to talking with all of you. If you have questions for Jerry, put them in the chat tomorrow. Also, if you would like to come on with Jerry, we can make that happen as well. So I'll give that link out tomorrow. But the one and only Jerry Reynolds, you never know what he's going to say. What did he say a couple weeks ago? Something about shoving a 2-iron up somebody's. So it's fun. It is candid, and it's a really good one-on-one opportunity for all of you to see both sides of the man that we love, the man we know, Jerry Reynolds. So 3:00 tomorrow, Kings Court, back with you. Thanks everybody for coming tonight or coming today. Enjoy Monday Night Football. We will see you on the flip side. Go Kings, light the beam. Court dismissed.
Order in the court. Whew. That's a great question.